And of course, she felt everything I was saying. She was like, oh yeah, conference. I was like, a conference? Well, a conference wasn't on my mind, but if that's what, I was like, okay. But I said, but taking off the mask, and something about that really stuck to me, because I said there's so many people, they go around day after day, and they almost scared to show you who they really are. You know, that we live our lives, and you see somebody pass you by, and sometimes they have a smile on, sometimes they don't. But you never know what they're going through, what's going on with them, because they always covering up. And they don't want the real them to show. Amen. And it's like, why? And my Bible tells me the only way I can get to the God, the Father, is by being real. Amen. By being who He called me to be. Yeah. And I'm like, wow. So as I was studying, and I'm flipping through and going backwards and forward, and God changed my subject so many times. I said, He's funny like that. He does that to me. And I'm looking at the different women in the Bible, and it was very hard for me to decide who to talk about, because everybody have their issues. Everybody has something that they're hiding and ashamed of. So He brought me to Tamar. So I'm going to be dealing with Tamar in Genesis 38. Let me begin by saying, everybody do know that I'm from New Orleans. And right now in New Orleans, we're actually next month, they have down there what they call Mardi Gras. And Mardi Gras is a certain celebration that they do where everybody participates by wearing a mask. And they put the mask on to hide who they really are. Masks of all shapes and colors and sizes, just different kind of masks. And when you go to like a masquerade ball, you all dressed up in your finest. Yes. And you have on this mask, and it's dark in the room. And as you walk through that room, you don't know who you're meeting, and they don't know who you are. So you can act any kind of way you want to. Come on. Any kind of way you feel like you want to act, it's all right on that night. Because once you're covered up, once you have that mask on, and nobody can see who you are, you get this feeling about yourself. Yeah. And so you're not ashamed anymore, because they really don't know it's me. So I can say and do and act the way I feel I want to, because I'm covered up. Yeah. Because I'm pretending to be something that I'm not. Yeah. But what I'm doing is I'm pushing myself away from what God said I should be. I'm pushing my way away from God. See, because I'm about to be ashamed. Because once I take off the mask, I see who I am. And I can't show that to somebody else because I'm ashamed now. But see, when morning comes, that mask got to come off. And you have to look in the mirror and be who He said you are. But here we have Tamar. I'm going to ask Sister Kim to go ahead and read 38 for me.
And it came to pass at that time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned into a certain Adulamite, whose name was Hiram. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua. And he took her and went in unto her. And she conceived and bare a son, and he called his name And she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Onan. And she yet again conceived and bare a son, and called his name Shelah, and he was at the Shabir, where she bare him. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. And Judah said unto Onan, Go in unto thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass, when he went in unto his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother.
My Lord.
And the thing which he did displeased the Lord. Wherefore he slew him also. Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, Remain a widow at thy father's house, till Shelah my son be grown. For he said, Lest peradventure he die also, as his brother did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. And in the process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died. And Judah was comforted and went up into his sheep shears to Timnath, he and his friend Harah the Aldermite. And it was told Tamar, saying, Behold, thy father-in-law goeth up to Timnath to shear his sheep. And she put her widow's garments off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and set it in an open place, which is by the way to Timnath. For she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given him to wife. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be a harlot, because she had covered her face. And he turned unto her by the way and said, Go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, What wilt thou give me, that thou mayest come in unto me? And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock. And she said, Wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it? And he said, What pledge shall I give thee? And she said, Thy signet and thy bracelet, and thy staff that is in thine hand. And he gave it her, and came in unto her, and she conceived by him. And she arose and went away, and led by her veil from her, and put on the garment of her widowhood. And Judah sent the kid by the hand of his friend the Aldermite to receive his pledge from the woman's hand, but he found her not. Then he asked the men of that place, saying, Where is the harlot that was openly by the wayside? And they said, There was no harlot in this place. And he returned to Judah and said, I cannot find her. And also the men of the place said that there was no harlot in this place. And Judah said, Let her take it to her, lest we be shamed. Behold, I sent this kid, and thou hast not found her. And it came to pass about 3 months after that it was told Judah, saying, Tamar, thy daughter-in-law, hath played the harlot. And also, behold, she is with child by whoredom. And Judah said, Bring her forth, and let her be burned. When she was brought forth, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, By the man whose these are, am I with child? And she said, Deserve, I pray thee. Whose are these, the signet and bracelets and staff? And Judah acknowledged them and said, She hath been more righteous than I, because that I gave her not to Shelah my son, and he knew her again no more.
And here we have Tamar.
Yes.
And sometimes, as we wear those masks, we find ourselves doing what we ought not to do. And we find ourselves doing things that we wasn't designed to do.
Come on.
But how far would you go to get what you want? How far would you go to get what you want?
My Lord.
Here we have Tamar, and she's married to one brother, and he was wicked. And she, being a Jewish woman, all she wanted was a child. and it was her right to have a child. Because in Jewish customs, they needed the child to help keep them when they get in their older age. So she was expecting that. Like every other woman. Once we marry, that's our expectations normally to have a child.
Yes.
So here she is wanting a child. But R was wicked in God's eyes. So God slew him.
That's right.
So here she is now. She's a widow. Think about what she's thinking now. I don't have a child. I'm lonely now.
Yeah.
I'm by myself. So I'm sure the mass of depression comes on. The mass of embarrassing. Because here she's walking around and other women are looking at her. Them and their babies and them with their families, they're looking at her. And here she has to walk around pretending to have her head up. But deep down inside, she's hurting because she wants that child. So in the laws, it says that the next brother would marry the dead's wife, and let her conceive. But Onan, wicked also, he decides he's not going to let that happen because money is on his mind. I got better things to gain if I don't let her get pregnant. So he spilled his on the ground, which is wicked in God's eyesight. So now she's dealing with two men that did not give her what she wanted. And God kills the next man. So now she's walking around, not only with depression on her face, not only with the embarrassment on her face, she's a double widow. It's another mask on her face. That's another burden on her back. She can't stand to be this way. And then the father said, I'll give you the third one. Let him grow up. So she goes to her father's house and put on her widow's garment. So she's walking around in shame. All black. I'm shameful now. Everything I wanted in life. And it can't be all that. Just think about what we're going through. All we want out of life. Most people these days, all they want is maybe a new house, a car. They just want to live the American dream. The American dream. But here you are, you're depressed. And you walk around in shame. Because life didn't give you the hand that you wanted. God has dealt you a hand that now you have to deal with.
Come on.
And a lot of times you get embarrassed and you get shameful. You wear the mask of disappointment. You wear the mask of anger. You wear the mask of fear. Because some people are fearful to go out there and be who God has called them to be. Because if I let them know exactly who I am, what they going to think of me? If I let them know that I may not be able to speak the way they want me to, what they going to think of me? I may not be able to do the things that they want me to do. What they going to think about me? See, I was abused. And if I let them know I was abused, what they going to think about me? If I take off the mask and I show them the scars in my face, what they going to think about me? All I want to do is walk around like everybody else. All I want to do is hold my head up and walk proud and say that I have this, thus, and whatever. But I can't. Because, see, I have mask on my face. I'm ashamed. I can't be like everybody else. The two men that I done married refused to give me what I